equality and opportunity. That's the American dream. But there are a lot of obstacles in the way of some achieving that dream. On the front page centerpiece this week, how the financial system fails Black-owned businesses. The in-depth analysis by the Courier's parent company is loaded with numbers and statistics. It basically boils down to this: it's a lot harder for Black business owners to get money from banks. Mortar's entire operation is mentoring and supporting minority entrepreneurs and helping get their businesses off the ground. They've seen the disparities firsthand.
We have found that we often have to do twice as much to get half as far. Just in general, even beyond just banking, but even to get grants and things of that nature, sometimes you have to have more proof points or more examples of how your programming has worked than some of our white counterparts who could just be starting out their business with nothing to show for, no minimum viable product. We typically have to create more, have more examples, more anecdotes, more statistics, and then the offering of financial capacity is typically lower even when we have more things.
But if 2020 has been anything, it's been a wake-up call to do something about it. And some banks and business groups are leading that charge. Courier publisher Jamie Smith talked to one of them, Fifth Third's Kala Gibson.
Thank you, Kyla. And thanks, Kala, for being on the show today. Now, I know they're talking about national trends, but progress has been made this year locally, according to you and according to some of our other bankers. Are you seeing things better regarding loans to Black business in Cincinnati? And talk a little bit about what you called a rallying cry that is the outcome of COVID-19.
Thanks, Jamie, and thanks for having me on the show. And no, I continue to be unbelievably optimistic about the future of Black businesses. So when you think about it, since June, there has been a rallying cry with billions of dollars pouring into organizations that support Black-owned businesses. You're seeing that locally here. So I'm the board chair for Mortar locally, and we've had our biggest year thus far with raising funds. And then there's also another initiative that's kicked off with the Port, Fifth Third, Urban League, and other organizations around the Cincinnati Regenerator Program, which is really focusing on our neighborhood business districts and trying to make sure that African-American owned businesses have real estate as well as access to capital and technical assistance. So again, we're seeing some great momentum. I'm excited about it and hope we can continue down that path.
Okay. You were quoted this past week in our paper saying that some of the reasons Cincinnati's Black businesses have trailed their white counterparts is because of accessing funds. In accessing funds, there's been a lack of that banking relationship for these businesses. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the African-American business community has been underbanked and underserved for many years. And I will tell you that some of this has been institutional and structural. We think about in the 70s with redlining, predatory lending, all these different things that actually prevented African-Americans from being a part of the banking system. So there's built this level of mistrust and not really interested in having a relationship with a bank. So when I talk to small businesses, I try to really stress the importance of having that strong relationship with a bank, not just a depository account, but an actual relationship with the financial institution. And we saw that with PPP, because in order for you to get that funding, you really had to have a relationship with a bank. And so we saw that with the stats that you mentioned earlier, that a lot of African-American businesses were shut out of PPP. And I know at Fifth Third, we had to take a proactive approach and use our small business community lenders to actually go into the communities and bring these businesses in the bank. So I think that until we solve that problem and help businesses come into the bank, we're going to continue to have that challenge. Now, again, I'm still optimistic because there's a lot of organizations that are helping us with this, about Mortar, again, the Urban League, of really getting the message out with technical assistance and providing that access to capital.
Awesome. Well, I know, as you just said, Fifth Third is being very aggressive in this side of your business. As are, I know First Financial kind of said the same thing. But can you tell me, how is Fifth Third Bank's approach to earning this business or developing these relationships?
So at Fifth Third Bank, our mission is to be the bank of choice for African Americans in this community. And we're going to do that by investing. So we're going to commit to $3 billion over the next 3 years to help African American businesses thrive. We're also going to work on advocacy as it relates to our legislative agenda to make sure that there's policies in place to help these businesses. We're going to make sure that our staff reflects the community because we know that is an important piece. And then lastly, we're going to make sure that our messaging is connecting and resonating with this demographic. Again, we want to bring them, invite them into the Fifth Third Bank family, and we're going to be intentional around that with our products and solutions as well.
Well, you know what? I cannot ask for a better partner. You guys partner with us on our Climb Awards, which is our inclusion and diversity event. And I think you're making big steps for Cincinnati. And, you know, even though this national picture was kind of bleak, I wanted to show our viewers and readers that Cincinnati's working better to make it better. So thank you. Thank your friends at Fifth Third, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.